Councillors, Chief Officers, ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding to receive the worshipful the Mayor of Knowsley, Councillor Frank Walsh.
Thank you, colleagues. Please be seated. Colleagues, if you just bear with me for a few moments, I'll just go through the basic preamble at the beginning of the council meeting. Colleagues, welcome to this meeting and welcome to everybody in the public gallery. Can I remind everyone that all mobile phones should be turned to silent for the duration of the meeting, and can I ask all members to ensure that they use the microphones. Please note that as usual, the council will be filming and recording this meeting. This will include people sitting in the public gallery, and a copy of this film will be uploaded to the Knowsley Council YouTube site in due course following this meeting. Can I also refer everyone to the order paper that has been placed on the front of them and on each seat in the public gallery. Item number 1. Conferment of the title of Honorary Alderman. Councillor Andy Moorhead, I believe you wish to move the motion set out in the order papers.
I move that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Moorhead. Councillor Mike Murphy, I believe you wish to second the motion.
Yes, a great pleasure and I second this motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Councillor Andy Moorhead, I believe you wish to speak on the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, and welcome to everybody to this very, very special occasion for Knowsley and particularly for Ronnie and all his guests in the back. We're here tonight to see this special honour to be bestowed on me. I'm a bit nervous because Ronnie's sitting next to me. The office of Honorary Alderman is not bestowed on many people, very often and only in exceptional circumstances, but those who have rendered eminent services to this authority. Over the years, we have bestowed this honour only on 11 other people in the history of Knowsley. When it was established in 1974, and you can see those names on the board towards the rear of the wall over there somewhere, you will all know that Ronnie served his community as an elected member for no less than 29 years. A man with feet, I'm sure you will all agree. Given eminent service to this council since 1987. In May 2000, Ronnie became Cabinet Member for Economic Development and Planning. That was the first job I was after, if you remember, Ronnie. We had that conversation in Jim's office that time. In the same year, he was elected Deputy Leader of the Council. He was then elected Leader of the Council in 2003, and he served for 12 years in this position. Throughout this time as elected member, he served on almost all of our major committees. As we know, Mr. Mayor, it's not about how many things you are involved in, rather the quality, the impact and the value of the contribution that you make. This is where Ronnie's eminent service really comes to the fore. Ronnie wasn't just well known and well liked locally. As an elected member, he was also well known for his trade union activities within the construction industry. Throughout the whole of his working career, he strived to make the world a better place for everyone he came into contact with. He lobbied tirelessly for this borough and its residents on many national bodies, including the Local Governments Local Governments Association, assemblies and forums, the North West Regional Leaders Board, which he was a key member of, and Seri O'Neill fondly asked about your days of the week when I seen him, Ronnie. Segolme, the LTIU, and it's fair to say that his name has been synonymous with Knowsley since he became leader. He built himself a sound reputation as a champion for the wider region at a local and regional and national level. He was instrumental as chair of the shadow Liverpool City Region Cabinet to build it up to becoming the combined authority which I currently sit on after Ronnie retired, and was pivotal in leading the Liverpool City Region employment and skills thematic forward at the same time. Ronnie's abiding passage was for employment and skills. Last time I spoke about Ronnie actually done me a personal favour to enable me to get a scratch card to go on a building site many years ago. I'll repeat that. Ronnie's abiding passion for employment and skills led him to establish a Knowsley-based apprentice scheme that to date 1,048 young people have benefited from. That's something to be very proud of. Ronnie took the decision to retire early this year, and as we know, Mr. Mayor, and whilst we were sorry to see him go, it was the right time for him and Rose to think about themselves and enjoy a long and happy retirement together. That said, whilst he may not be sat in our committee meetings anymore, his legacy remains, and he still continues to be involved in politics and still offers advice and guidance. Only last week he offered me some advice that was invaluable. Early on during the election, he actually offered me even better advice: don't sing at the Labour group, which I enjoy. When I go to various national and regional bodies, I meet lots of people that know Ronnie from all parties and all persuasions. Last week I was in London at the LGA meeting. A chap come over to me called Mike Haynes. He's actually an independent in Devon. Asked that I pass on his congratulations this evening for the well-deserved honour for a true gentleman. And thanks to you, Ronnie, for the support and advice you gave him and to the National Planning Board during your service. Ronnie is not the type of person to sing his own praises, Mr. Mayor. And you will always find him pushing others forward for praise. He actually done that with me over the last year, taking me all around London and introduced me to all kinds of different people, and it smoothed the path for me, and I will be eternally thankful for that, Ronnie. Thank you. I sincerely hope that this honour enables us to show just how much his exceptional and eminent service has meant to Knowsley, as a council, and to all our residents for those 29 years, and to us all as members. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Moorhead. Councillor Murphy, do you wish to speak on the motion?
Just be very brief, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Mayor. Got a lot of speeches there. I first met Ronnie Round in the 70s, not far back now, and when we were both members of the Highton Constituency Labour Party. And he was passionate about the trade unions then, and I'm proud to say he's just as passionate now as he was all them years ago. So congratulations, Ron.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy. Are there any other members who wish to speak on the motion? Councillor Aston.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, it's a privilege to be given the opportunity tonight to add my congratulations to Ronnie on this much-deserved honour. I've known Ronnie for almost 20 years. Back when I was very new and very inexperienced councillor, Ronnie was always on hand with helpful support and advice to new members like myself. Ronnie is much to be proud of, and most of it the leader has already alluded to tonight. We've already heard of many of his achievements on behalf of the residents of Knowsley, a borough that he served with distinction. As leader of the council, he gained respect not only locally but nationally, and here in Knowsley, we could always be assured that he was fighting our corner, as many a government minister of any political shade could contest. Mr. Mayor, this evening's a special mention should go also to his wife Rose and their family. Ronnie will be the first to admit that none of this would have been possible without their love and support. On a personal note, I, like many in this chamber tonight, have much to thank him for. It was a privilege to serve in his cabinet for 8 years, and I'd like to sincerely thank him for that opportunity. Mr. Mayor, in closing, can I wish Alderman Round a continued long, happy and much deserved retirement. Well done, Ron.
Thank you, Councillor Aston. Councillor Smith, I believe you would like to make a speech.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I don't know whether Ron is surprised to see me here tonight, but first of all, I'd like to congratulate him on behalf of the Liberal Democrat group on Knowsley Council. And obviously, he and I go back a long way. I think we both had the ability to, over the years, wind each other up from time to time. And I remember those years with fondness. I would like to just say, on a personal note, that during that time we went away quite frequently to conferences and leadership group away groups at various places. But I have one in mind in particular, which was a leadership away weekend or whatever, and I was on my own basically, and Ron went out of his way to make sure that I was both at ease and not left out of what was going on during the day and also in the evening. And it's with fondness I remember in particular the conversation we had, which went back to the days of the Second World War in fact, and he made sure that when we went in to eat that I accompanied him, and then as a surprise he ordered fish, chips and mushy peas, I think. And you know, I've never forgotten that, and I'd just like to say thank you, Ron, for being very sociable when you didn't have to be. He obviously takes his leadership responsibilities very seriously, and I just wish him all the best for the future.
Thank you, Councillor Smith. Councillor Morgan, I wish you'd like to make a speech.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Colleagues, I just wanted to talk about Ronnie as the former leader of the council and as a friend that I've known for 29 years. But just it's so important that all his family are at the back, because I know how much his family means to Ron, and all the support they've given him over the years. Colleagues, Ronnie was a persuasive, determined and inspirational leader who worked hard to do his best for his fellow man and woman through every stage of his career. As Councillor Moorhead has just made reference to in the examples he gave, Ron made valued contributions at all levels of political life when he was the leader of the council from 2003 to 2015. From working with residents both in his ward in Swanside and across the borough of Knowsley, to lobbying central government with our MPs, Secretary of State, civil servants and even Prime Ministers. His energy knows no bounds, and I'm sure if being a long distance walker at the time when Roger Bannister ran the 4-minute mile, he would have beaten that time. Such is his drive, energy and zest for life. You only have to try and keep up with him when he's delivering the Christmas cards now. You know what, you have to walk at a hell of a pace to keep with him. Mr. Mayor, Ron is a kind and generous man and a really good friend. In all the years I've known him, nothing phases him. He is full of good advice if you have a problem, and he knows who to speak to and a raft of subjects, and his great company, and more importantly, he's always there for you if you need him. While I know that Ron is now starting to enjoy his retirement, I'm pleased to say that he has stayed involved in the Labour Party, especially at ward level, and I know that myself, Chris Bannon and Colin Deaver value his contribution greatly. Ron, enjoy your night, you deserved it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morgan. Councillor Moorhead, would you like to say anything further before I put the motion to the vote?
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Moorhead. Colleagues, all those in favour of this motion? All those against? The motion is carried.
I'm getting this to the science.
Like you're to Holy Communion, isn't it? Well done, Don.
Those, get up.
Ron, before I bring this special meeting to a close, is there anything that you would like to add? Anything you'd like to say?
If I may, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, by all means, Ron, please.
I think first of all, Mr. Mayor, in all the years I've been in this council chamber, and I've never felt so nervous as I am tonight. And that was even in the hard times, as well as the good times. But thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Andy, for the kind words. It's very much appreciated. Knowsley, the place and the people, as those of you who know me well will know, that it holds a very special place in my heart. I have to say tonight, I never intended to be a councillor, as my background was in the trade union movement. But it was the late Sean Hughes, our MP, who persuaded me to get involved because of the work that I was already doing in the Swanside area at the time, on the political side. I'm really glad that he persuaded me to take up the role, and thankfully we are still holding the 3 Labour seats in Swanside after all these years. I'm under no illusion, Mr. Mayor, that the reason I have been able to be an elected member for the last 29 years is because my family, and especially my wife Rose, have supported me throughout this time, and I certainly wouldn't be stood here tonight if it wasn't for them. So can I thank you all for that? I just want to thank all of you in the council chamber tonight for agreeing to bestow this honour on me, and I will treasure it always. Good night and God bless. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Colleagues, as there are no further items on this agenda, I declare this special meeting closed. Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be moving to the agenda on the papers of the ordinary meeting of the Council, which will start at approximately 6 o'clock. Thank you.
If you're standing for the Mayor.